welcome back to Masters Berlin, where I'll take 2 more of those, please. 2 more maps just like that as we go to overtime for the very first time here at Masters 3. That all said, though, I have to imagine to a degree a bit of a gutting defeat for Vivo Keed based on the fact that their attacking half started 7-1 and Envy was able to bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, it was extremely impressive from both these teams, I have to say. On the attacker side, we knew the Vivo Keed is what they say, we're going to be aggressive. And even on their defense, actually, when they were aggressive, when they were taking the upper hand, they were making a lot of progress. But sometimes, I feel like mistakes were made.
For me, a lot of it comes down to the fact that one of the things you have to be really gutted for Vivo Keed about is that was their map pick.
Yeah.
And in a best of 3, you don't want to be losing your map pick.
I think I loved it. I think it was a great start. I also think that it was a strong start for MV when they started attacking. They took some time to adapt to the team, but just because, I mean, guys, you at home, you didn't feel this, but when they got the first pistol round, they actually got both of them. But when they got the first one, I feel like this building was going to fall off. Like, amazing.
They were the loudest team.
Yes,
so
for
far.
sure. So
Slow
far.
start for Envy. Yes, 100% Vivo Keed. Loudest team we've had in the building so far. You could feel the energy and the adrenaline. To some degree, did feel like Envy was asleep at the wheel in those early rounds, but they were able to wake up and find the answers as the map rolled on. And really, to me, the people who were integral to that were twofold. It was Crashies and it was Ye. Crashies being the person to stabilize for the team, in fact, being our Verizon high-speed moment of the day with a huge clutch to bring it back in round 9 and ultimately help Envy stabilize at an 8-4 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, Crashy's ace was absolutely phenomenal. And he's always been that player who has the capability of doing this, but doesn't usually need to. And I think it was something that the casters actually attested to, but it was a little bit unusual to see Ye not showing up quite as much as he perhaps should have been earlier on in the game. But the fact that you had Crashies there to pick it all up, it was a beautiful play. I mean, we just all stared at each other and we were like, what?
Yeah, literally, this is the things that happen. I mean, I feel like I'm going to lose my voice at some point because sometimes I'm just here watching, I'm like, what? And I just turn around and they start screaming, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, the lineup there, again, a huge moment for Envy, starting with the Sheriff in the hands of Crashies to be able to, bring that round back. It is pretty nutty. And then from there, I think, is where we key into the second player that you were talking about, Ye. While he was a slow starter, he started finding his shots later in the map.
He was the overtime god.
Yes.
And it's funny because, you look at some of the earlier rounds back when Vivo Keed were on the attack, and I really felt like they had so much power over the rotations they were making because Envy weren't doing tons to kind of pick that apart or prevent it, and a lot of the time they could push into these sites and take space because they picked off some of those members, and oftentimes that was Ye. So then you come into overtime and Ye isn't being picked off early. He is making these big plays. He is, especially with the operator in hand, getting a lot of those shots. You don't have to worry about economy really when you're in overtime. So he always has that available.
That's exactly why, though, I want to keep keying into that matchup between him and Heat, because for each of them, it did feel like most of the rounds hinged on who was going to find that first pick with the op. And while it was Heat hot early and it was Ye hot late, we're moving into a new map. And so you basically hit the reset button.
It's kind of hard to hit it. I feel like for Vivo Keed, this is a hard one to take because they had it. For some moment, they had it. I remember this round where they were 4v5. They had taken that first kill, and they started pushing. I was like, why do you do this? I mean, you lost control over me, but you could have... You knew that pushing wasn't the right choice. So I feel sad about that. But now we have to focus on 2 bind. For me, as I said at the beginning, this is probably Envy's best map. I really like the fact that they've changed that Omen into the Astra. I feel like it makes it a lot more like Gambit, me from you. I'm very familiarized with that, and I feel like the control that it gives you over both sides, it's so heavy. That's going to be a key part.
An incredible map pick for Envy. You have to imagine they're going to feel comfortable moving into this one after eking out the win in that overtime map 1. Some smiles across the faces as we pan across the players themselves, except for here at the end. All business. All business.
Yeah, you kind of ruined it there.
I did. I spoke just a bit too soon. 1 chair too soon, that is. Agents, what do we expect, if anything, to switch up? Do you want to switch up much at all, given the closeness of that first go-around?
Well, I mean, the thing with Vivo Key, their most recent buying composition, they've only played it once so far, uses a Raze instead of a Sky, which is what they have been playing in more recent times. I think I personally would actually be fond of seeing the Sky come back. I mean, I really like flashes anyway, but I think that being able to have that extra, not surprise factor, but that extra power over Envy, particularly when Vivo Key are attacking, would be really useful. I mean, one of their really strong play styles is how they like to hold themselves back, and then it's usually in the final minute, the final 50 seconds is when they make that push. Having a Sky, I think, would be really beneficial.
And it's not only that, we also have to consider that if Envy does not go for the Omen and they go for the Astra, they're not going to have any way of blinding the team. No flashes, no blinds, no nothing. And if you have that Sky, you can go through those smokes, through those walls, and it obviously opens a door of opportunities.
Well, I mean, it's something that Envy struggled with against 100 Thieves. You know, 100 Thieves would always run these triple initiated compositions, and Envy wouldn't be able to add.
Yeah, it is the Astra actually for both teams. That's what is surprising me, because Vivo Kid used to play with Viper and Brimstone. We're not seeing them here, and I actually think I'm digging this.
All right. By the same token, no Sage on the side of Envy for Ye. It will be the Jet instead, and so we're going to get that Jet v Jet matchup. These teams, though, we know they're ready and rearing to go. It was such a sick map 1. I'm personally hoping for a map 3, but we'll see if these teams have enough to deliver it. Riv and Doug, we're headed back to you.
I hope you had enough time to recollect yourself after that banger of a first map. And I think we can look at it two ways, right? Like, Vivo Key had Envy on the ropes. Is that a good thing because they could do it, or was that the one that got away? And Riv, I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on this. We saw a bit of a change in agent select.
Yeah, we did, and I'm very surprised to see this. If you look at the side of Vivo Key, you know Vixen, if you're from that region. If not, he is considered one of the best Brimstones in Brazil. Now, with Brimstone being a lot of his recent plays, throws the Astra and a little more versatility for map-wide control. We'll see what Vixen can bring the team now.
All right, Envy starting off on the attack. Heavy lean towards B, at least early on. You already see the wall. Has denied entry in through Octagon, so if they're going to get towards B, they're going to have to brute force their way in through Hookah, and so far so good, as 2 members of Vivo Key have already dropped, but the telly has been taken, right? They're stuck. This is a terrible spot to be in, because they're going to have to get through that to deal with it, and they're just like shooting fish in a barrel. They're going to have to rotate out of Hookah. And it seems to they have done that, but man, are they certainly worse for wear. Victor was down to 7 health. Ye and Marv were weak as well, but you know what? All good.
FNS all good in the end. Marv coming up with a few there. You'll have Cosmic Divide quite early, and he cleaned up the round. And then, interesting though, from Vivo Key, nobody dropped out of that Hookah position. 2 were there to fight the entirety of Envy. It was just three's a crowd instantly in Hookah here, and Envy took advantage of it.
Too easy. I mean, maybe that's a lot.
Just a pistol. Just a pistol, boys.
That's a lot.
Slow it down.
This time around for Envy, you've got upgraded weapons. Certainly not the case for Vivo Key, as they opt not to force up. Envy looking to work a short, the dash in. Yeah, he's already gotten up to a decent spot, but the Ghost dropping to the classic. Miri's getting that duel.
Feeling good if they can hop over there and grab that gun of some sort. That would be great. Marvin Crash, he's cleaning up a few with those shock darts. And TK as well, a little of his own medicine given back.
One enemy remaining.
This is probably a bit more expensive than they would have liked. So you drop 2. You have no armor left on Crash. He's going to have to buy up on that. Marv took a bit of damage as well. So not only is it the members that you drop, right? But the armor, you have to consider that as you work through economy. Certainly a bit more expensive than I believe they would have liked.
And it's what abilities you can then continue to purchase. Exactly. Will you have everything, or are you foregoing something?
Exactly.
Looks like Roomba or Boombot will not be on that side of Victor. There it is. He's like, yeah, I'll get it. We need to get into Hookah. That's how you do it. B-Long is a bit of a look here with the spike drop now again, showing you the intentions of what Envy wants to do, as we see Ye with the big iron.
Not going to get a shot. It's been tagged, but the dart was cleared out. And I mean, look at the spike, Riv. Look at where it is on the mini map, right? Like, there's nothing going on. Miri's getting that opening pick into showers, and I think we're going to see a lot of fighting for that area of the map throughout this.
Marv got his ult orb. He's got his ult. Might have been looking for that, but again, the control, it looks like FNS and team do want shower control still. They are putting someone there, Crashies is here, and it looks like this might be an end A if we do see that Victor's gonna work his way to the right and he does start to lean in.
No, they're gonna pull off. I think they're gonna pull off because take a look at the mini map. The spike is rotating away. Ye can drop in with Telly, and potentially if he gets a kill onto Heat, great, but no, they are gonna pull off. They've gotten onto A for free. You see that FNS is already, I mean, he's working his way into pipes, and I love that from them, right? Don't just take the site, but get into aggressive choke positions where you know they're going to rotate in from to cut that off. They're going to have to work their way through FNS unless they go up to heaven, while Ye's checking a look on the lurk as well.
That third round getting locked in here as Ye picks up a frag for himself. The 2 kill here for FNS as he's always good for a couple in the pocket. And that is going to be a much different first few rounds here coming in from Envy. They are able to secure a pistol and carry that out into their gun round. So now putting, again, Vivo Keyed on their heels as we watch this replay. And a quick shot. Ye's already feeling it with the operator, and that's not super early, but he was playing that one pretty safe, peeking long, staying back. As you said, you know, they did get up a little bit as they were approaching towards A, so they could make it look like they were going B, but he always kept himself in a safe spot.
Now, we talk about economy, right, and how important of an aspect of the game it is. Envy wins the bonus. Vivo Keyed, their economy's in the pits, right? They've got nothing to work with. They're going to be broke for a long time. You find themselves at a position where Envy could easily be looking at a 4-0 lead to open this up. That's certainly not how they expected that to go.
And they just want to do damage. Look at J-House here, playing a cheeky wall just so he can take some armor off. So maybe utility works out later. Obviously, he's looking for a kill all the time, but the Stinger, not going to give it to you at that range that quick. Looks like stars are going up on the right side. Heat's getting good pressure here, dog. Ooh. Almost.
The pressure, but that's all it was. You see the smokes go off in heaven, the smoke go off towards pipes, and you've got the Viper's wall up as well, really essentially splitting the site in half. It's not up right now, but Marv once again putting himself in an aggressive position where he can block off any of the rotates coming in through pipes, and that's exactly where the chokehold's coming in from, right? Marv and Victor both drop it, yay! Oh, Mary's, he's already good for 2.
It's one shot on FNS and a headshot for Crashies.
He's got 86 health, no armor to work with, and he upgraded his weapon, but the op rings true. FNS cleans him up, and again, Envy, because of the financial devastation that they were able to cause onto Vivo Keyed, are up 4-0.
All right, I'm going to Riv broken record mode. Rounds 4, 5, and 6, that's when you see ultimates. So let's look at some ultimates. Let's see if Vivo Keyed can use these round secures of Showstopper, of once the post plan is up, that Hunter's Fury, to make this one work in their favor. You're probably not going to see Ye right off the bat do this Blade Storm with the amount he's got on him and the off full armor and everything, but this could be a very big round for Vivo Keyed. They need to start hitting that bank account and economy side of Envy.
Cheeky little wall, cheeky little peek early on from Heat. Not going to get a shot at much of anything. Now, they did dart back Fountain. They didn't tag anyone, so there's no information gained, and that's exactly where they were. Now the Hunter's Fury is going to come out. Mary's going to have to try to say, through this is NTK. Not able to tag anyone there.
There's 1-2. Armor burnt off. Oh, the peaks for Heat. Oh, actually baits out Pie to the face on Ye as it was supposed to be going in for Maurice. And FNS doing what he does best, just creeping, lurking in the minds of Vivo Keyed right now.
And you see Crashies is creeping in at the exact same time. If it goes sideways.
He couldn't believe he saw it.
Yep, no problem. As Mirrors drops, now they have full control of U-Haul. The remaining members of Vivo Keyed are going to have to rotate in through defender spawn, except for Showers. Now, Showers is a very important part here. FNS is able to hold fast there. Vixen, had he had a bit more teammates, can really apply a lot of pressure from there. But man, Envy are not leaving a single door open. There's no room that Vivo Keyed have had to breathe, at least early on in bind, and it's reflected in the score for sure.
FNS is having some ridiculously pivotal moments right now and being able to, one, there, shut down 3, but also the operator that Heat's bringing back in, a super deadly force, take Blade Storm off the table. Really, this is what we saw happening for Vivo Keyed on Icebox. The first shots were hitting, the strategies were clicking, and Envy was able to waltz into the site, just like Vivo Keyed did when they were starting off the Icebox first half. See, this is just going to be a waited out as Joe will not be hunted. He's going to be able to get an operator. So they do recoup that. It's actually pretty big. Oh, no.
Oh.
Wait, what?
You see him bunny hopping across your screen like a madman.
Okay.
All right, but Victor not able to land a shot. Op went that way. But, you see the pressure that they're able to apply because FNS, again, he crept his way onto site for free, take U-Haul control, and then turn your attention towards pipes. Very methodical play out of Envy early on. And, yeah, I think if you're Vivo keyed here, and that's exactly what's going to happen, hold the phone, bro. Stop. Let's regain, let's figure out what's going on here because Envy are at a point right now where they could easily run away with this thing.
It's very true. If the operator doesn't work here, it looks like you're going to get some forced buys unless a little bit more comes through. But we will get a quick timeout so Vivo Keyed can discuss. And not abnormal. It's exactly what Envy did as they found themselves without a round deep into the first half here.
Yeah, I think you touched on something, Riv. It's interesting is, on Icebox, Vivo Keyed were hitting their opening shots. Things were just kind of falling their way, right? But I think for Envy, the interesting thing is, yes, they're landing those opening shots. Yeah, he's playing well, really across the board. All of the guys are, but the difference is they're creating those opportunities. They're creating those moments. Again, I think about FNS and how he aggressively took space on A. Right? He got his way in, and then because of that, they were able to apply pressure elsewhere on the map. And as I mentioned, methodically check the box, right? Get onto A. Great. Take U-Haul control. Great. You work your way into pipes to stop any of the rotates. Great, right? And if they're able to do that at a high level and they're landing the shots that they weren't previously, that bodes well for North America.
And we do know this is Envy's, right? 79% win rate in 14 plays, 11-3 on bind since stage 2 and coming through all those matches. Looking at the side of Vivo Key, they still have 11 plays, but that's 6-5. They aren't as well rounded on attack or defense as Envy will find in those rounds. So it does make it a little bit harder. Stats kind of go the way of Envy here, and they're making sure that plays true with the way they're bringing their firepower to bind.
This is an interesting buy from Vivo Key. Because
Yeah,
oftentimes in a situation like this, you want to put a gun in somebody who potentially is close to getting an ultimate online, try to farm a couple of kills, bring that online. So perhaps maybe Vixen in this situation, maybe get a couple of kills to get that Cosmic Divide online, but instead, they put it in Mirrors' hand, and I understand the Guardian, they wanted to try to control A short, but he drops. There was no value out of that weapon.
Vixen playing a little reactive there with a gravity well. He's just trying to suck in what would be Ye's operator peak. As Finesse and the rest of the team now start to move back towards B. We have not seen hardly any love towards B. A lot of the rounds have gone to firefight. We had the one explosion just in our previous round, but now it looks like it's going to be that B hit. He starts off strong.
That is one hell of a shot. As Ye drops, the Blade Source coming online as well. He's able to get 2. Dancing through the cloud burst as he's looking for more, and he gets a 3rd. Not able to get a 4th. Victor down to 84 health and a little bit of armor to work with, but he's got the showstopper crash. He's deep in, but he's going to have to reload. The Classic's not going to do it. Vixen with the Sheriff. Finds himself in a 1v1, but Victor saves the day, saves the round for Envy. It was close, it was dicey. The Blade Storm made magic happen, but Envy walks away with the win.
That's exactly it. Envy wins that round, and it's not usually you talk about the other team, but oh my God, Heat there. The ability to process everything that was going on. A quick cloud burst for the first sonar, another one to cause distraction, and he plays everything, realizing he's surrounded. Almost comes out with a full play, and we just heard Envy yell out, yeah, Victor. Victor picked up that final frag of the round. 6-0 here as their first B take goes successful. It did go down to that one member, though. 4 ultimates on the side of Envy here as they're just giving themselves ways to continue winning rounds that may not start off in their favor.
Oh, they're not slowing down. The Cosmic Divide is there. Dueling showstoppers as nothing really happens either which way. A bit of damage, a little tag, but that's all it is. 100 Fury is going to come out as well as the Cosmic Divide. Splits off.
Clear on elbow.
Bit of the initial push. Crashies. Clears that out, as you said. There's nothing else going on. So there was ruckus that was caused on that half of the map. But then things reset, they rotate off. After the noise is cut, you can tell Vivo Key are kind of wise to it, right? Heat is already rotate over. He's up in heaven with the op. Dueling Cosmic Divides is now. It's Marv who's going to use his Heat. Repositioning. And they're going to pull off. They've got time.
I love it. So much was used there. Cosmic Divide coming out, and then they got slowed. And with the speed, they wanted to use Cosmic Divide with everything there. I mean, they may even still go back to A.
Right.
Ye is waiting for the peak, but now it's the B. Audio's been cut. And again, it's just like a reset. They do what they want. Wow. Looks like B will be the hit with Ye going down.
But I wonder if they pull off at this point, right? No, okay, so at this point, they just saw so much that they're going to pull off. NTK's good for it. The Vipers pick him down. NTK somehow gets another one onto Marv. Oh my gosh, NTK good for 3. The spike goes down, but you still have to get through FNS in a 1v4. The timing's bad. The timing's bad. Heat cleans up FNS. Vivo Keyed steal the round from Envy. A little back and forth, the pendulum swinging, but they get on the board.
Simple utility usage, and they played off the fact that, yeah, there's an op. Ye's always going to be looking for a shot. But let's see if we can find that too.
Right.
How long did these two basically stare at each other through a Cosmic Divide right before it went down? We know exactly what these teams want to do to start a round opening. In this, you take those in a bag of chips when you're spraying it out. NTK with a beautiful finish there. And you can see just deflated on that round. It does not feel good to have 6, lose that 1, but lose it so chaotically.
Right. Yeah, and there, as you said, NTK getting that second kill there. Sometimes things go your way.
Yeah.
Right, and that opens things up. That gave Vivo Keyed a bit of room to breathe. Now Envy are at a spot where they have to respond, but the fight for showers continues. The room of the gravity well there to also push back any of that initial aggression that comes out from the defending side. They're able to keep their ops, hold serve.
And they'll take that shot again, Doug. Look at Ye. He went full naked up. Feels like he wants it again. He's down at $0. So Envy lose this, they're going to start feeling the effects of that economy. Vivo Keyed's done a good job at building up a bit of what they can use for each round and still have Hunter's Fury here as they make their way into showers. Envy trying to pressure.
That's awesome. Just spamming through the wall, the little bit of util, but that's the battle won for space. That's the battle won for real estate. Now they have showers control. Now they can work with that. And it's not only that, but now Heat has to reposition. He's been tagged up. He's just down to 56 health, but he has to reposition. That op is no longer controlling that area of the map, and that gives Envy room to work on A. And as you see, that's exactly where they're headed. The drone, the Astra Stars, that's where they're going.
I feel like Heat has a really good read on this round, always watching where Ye was in the beginning, and is correct to keep his eyes there.
Hunter Series coming out from NTK.
30 seconds left.
Little tag. They're going to have to push right back off. Ye's there, but they've gotten onto the site. This seems like a bit of a disjointed push as Ye's going to be rotating back around to short. They're going to have to fight for U-Haul control because they don't have it. Vixen is there to cause problems, but the spike has gone down. You see that FNS is playing around his wall. Vixen holding fast. Mirrors is going to get in on it as well as he cleans up Ye. FNS playing around his smoke. A 1v5.
He's trying to get out. Oh, just made it.
The tap, but nothing doing. Oh, no, and it's actually Heat who lands a shot with the op from downtown. NTK is going to get the defuse. Oh, excuse me, hand it off to Zhao, who's just now going to be 1 point away from getting his ult online. A prime gaming flawless round from Vivo Keyed to reduce the gap to 4.
They definitely need to keep getting these rounds because you have Envy on their heels now. Vivo Keyed doing a great job. And remember, I said Envy had a lot of ults to carry through rounds. Vivo Keyed made them use all of those in almost 1 or 2 rounds, and now they have a little bit more of a relaxed pace they can approach these site retakes with, so they're not eating ultimates that it will secure the round for Envy. Again, a flawless prime gaming there for Vivo Keyed. That's 2 defuses, so you see the flow of the game. Envy still making it in, but Vivo is reading both plans.
So Heat has taken that look a couple of times, right?
Yep.
Off the wall.
It's usually just Zhou on his wall, right?
Yes. Drops, wall goes up. You get a little shot at something this time because of really where Envy wanted to play the beginning. They were so heavily stacked that way. You swing around the corner and, whoa, hello! Get a couple. But Ye with the op. Marv piles it on as well. And Envy are making a freaking wonderful round out of what looked like crap. They had, what, 3 pistols to work with?
Yeah. Spectacular stuff coming out of them to just kind of recoup what was a little bit of a bleeding there. They weren't really hemorrhaging rounds just yet, but that is absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
And Jen, just being prepared for what you think they might do. I think a lot of us would just walk up there to prepare for a shot in mid, but knowing that Vivo Keyed would aggress, would pressure, thinking they had clear angles. Just, Envy is really reading the map well right now.
They are. Again, fight for showers. Heat with the op, but you're going to have a bit of a denial, but no, the smoke. Yes, the Roomba was there, but that gets cleared out. The smoke was there as well to deny that, and he lands a shot anyway. Vixen's good for 2 as well.
Whew. These rounds are hard to call right off the bat. Just seeing 2 go down stops Envy in their tracks. Obviously, a 2v5 means they're looking for only the shots. He can't finish it. It was a great drive, but the putt didn't happen. Vixen and Joe come up with 2 more. The Flawless continue to roll in here for Vivo Keed, and we'll see what they have coming into round 11.
It's just really an excellent response, and I think, Riv, you hit the nail on the head. These things early on just like happening quickly, right? Like you're getting these early kills, and that was one of the things that went so well for Vivo Keed on Icebox, right? Getting those opening shots, getting those opening kills, creating space off of that and room to breathe. Vivo Keed seem to have been picking that up. They've won 3 of the last 4 off of plays like that.
Any more rounds Vivo Keed can get, it will definitely help. Defense is the stronger side for Envy.
Oh my goodness, Heat is online and at full force, ladies and gentlemen. Lands a couple of 6 shots to, again, give the numbers advantage over to Vivo Keed early on.
Yep. Walking through quite a bit of that market area, making sure they have control over what could come through the TP. We really haven't seen Vivo Keed use the teleporter too much. It's Crashy's low here. He does have the spike, was seen at the end. Vixen from this spot is just spot on so far, and now it's a reset for the side of Envy's defense. They 3 and 2 to the sites. Oh, I'm sorry, for Vivo Keed's defense, as they keep the anchors in both of the bomb sites.
I mean, so 7-3 here. You still have a couple of rounds to work out the half, but it'd be interesting to take a look at economy. You don't have a ton of options here, right? A 2v5, Crashies is weak. FNS is healthy, he's great, but you still have an op in the hands of Heat. The fortunate thing for them is that it's on the opposite side of the map, right? So they are pushing into what should be a bit of an easier of the 2 sites at this point to take.
30 seconds left.
Oh, Crashies, you brave man. It is true, though. You want the healthier one taking the firefight. Hopefully he doesn't get tagged up too much. Oh.
So, but the thing is, they have not gained showers. They have not gained showers control, right? Vixen is still there, and they've got to deal with that. They cannot get through this round and get this done without regaining showers control. FNS drops, Crashy swings around. He's going to get cleaned up as well. Vivo Keed gets a 4. And given how this started, Riv, I think an 8-4, even 7-5, like that's great for Vivo Keed.
Absolutely. It shows as well, Vivo Keed, they are vibing. They're having fun. We saw it on Icebox, even when they were losing some of the overtime rounds, and they come in not even worried about being 6-0. A quick, tactical timeout. That's all they needed. They start to bring some rounds back in their favor that are going to look really good once you get onto attack side, and Vivo Keed can force where to go, whether that's B, A, or split. We'll have to see now. 10 seconds left here. What the positioning is, just setting up across the map is Envy. And with the spike drop, they're going to feel out what Vivo Keed is trying to do here at round 12.
So you presume they're going to dart back site, back towards Fountain. That's exactly what they do. It gets cleared out. And I love this Viper setup coming out from FNS. So you split the site, as we mentioned earlier, but then you also drop the orb coming in from U-Haul, right? So that creates such a tight angle for them to work in. They can get in towards A safely through short, get the spike down, and then back out. And it provides so much space. And if they're able to establish showers control with Marv working his way up there, that just opens up so much more. They can toggle that wall up and down to trade kills. It's an excellent setup.
I love seeing the spike down this far back, Doug, because it means watching whatever is happening on the minimap is super meaningful, right? They could rush into the site and just back out. They're trying to draw in a full rotation. If they do go back and get the spike, then it's kind of an anything can happen. But watching this, it's super methodical in what Envy is trying to do. And Vivo Keed is doing a great job of not walking into any of these frags or giving up too much of their own information on defense.
Now, FNS, keep in mind, is close to having his ultimate online, as we'll run 1 round left in the half. They're leaning towards B. They have a good bit of room to work with here, and here we go. The showstopper pops out the gravity. There was there, but it was a bit late. He gets one, but it's traded out. Mirrors is going to drop shortly thereafter. Numbers advantage still in favor of Envy. The spike is going to come down as the ult follows shortly. Excuse me. Ult follows the spike. Got that a bit backwards, but the res is going to come out from NTK. Numbers advantage Vivo Keed. Cosmic Divide's coming too.
Quite a few ultimates to be used here on the final round. They know you need to at least get a tap, find out where the Sova's going to be. Crashy's now with not that great of a chances. Vivo Keyed absolutely obliterate Envy inside the site.
Okay, but Crashies has the Hunter's Fury on the other side of the wall, but he's not going to hear it tapped, right? NTK might stick it. The dart's here, but it's going to get cleared out. The Madman's going to stick it. Oh my gosh, he takes it right out of under their noses. Vivo Keyed to take that last round in the half off the Cosmic Divide. We talked about how it was coming. Beautifully played.
They will find a way. How awesome. Vivo Keyed having a bit of trouble on what were the defensive rounds, really started to recoup and figure out what Envy wanted to do, whether they were just going to quick peek onto Showers. All right, Heat'll do that too. He'll find you. He has been so good and the rest of the team at holding these sites and making sure there's no over rotations. I think what's one of the big things we saw about Vivo Keyed, they were always 3-2 or 2-2 with a floater that helped keep the sites.
We talked about Bind potentially being a better map for Envy, and it started that way, but Vivo Keyed refusing to go away. We're going to toss it over to Sean at the Telestrator to break down everything he saw. Sean, take it away.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Doug. So I'm going to actually show you guys why the meme of FNS having a Giga Brain is a thing. This play that FNS called early on in the half is absolutely incredible. So I'll set the scene right now before we ever get into it. So in Showers, we have the double Astra Stars. This one down at the bottom, this one down here, is going to be a smoke. The one up top would turn into a gravity well. So what would happen is if you decide to push past the first one, say you cross this line right here that I've drawn, you would go into a gravity well, and that would cause this Astra to swing and take you out. Right? The ones on short, same thing. So the same thing is going on right here with these two Astra Stars. The other side of the coin is the attack-sided Astra Stars. The two in the site right there and the one in Hookah. The two in the A site are really telegraphing an A hit. When you see Astra Stars like this at the start of the round, it is very alarming at the pro level. And this is indicating that this should be an A hit. But as you can see, Victor has the spike over here at B. He is over here with Ye, and they are planning kind of like a weird double fake. So let's start the clip here. What you're going to see is Heat is going to peek out of Hookah, get tons of info at the start of the round. So he's thinking this is A. This is definitely A. As you can see, the drone is coming up short A. And I also want to draw some attention to FNS's utility. So let's pause here real quick. So FNS throws the Viper wall across the site and the smoke for U-Haul. This is blocking all vision from the A site. The only places you would be able to play would be top truck and in the pocket corner. But as you know, the drone was going up short A, clearing these angles. So it's creating an opportunity for FNS to basically lurk up into this pocket corner. And let's play the clip a little bit longer here. So you can see he sneaks into the corner. That causes the Vivo Keyed Sova to actually pop a blind ult through short A because his rays got tagged by this drone. Here's FNS lining up his smoke at the start of the round. It's going towards U-Haul, as I said. He's following the Sova drone up. There's so much going on over here. He breaks the boombot right away, mollies into his smokes, that way no one can peek it, waits out this gravity well. The Sova drone pings the rays, which causes the enemy Sova to blind ult short A, fearing of an A attack. While this is happening, we can pause in a split second when we get to the mini-map again. FNS is flanking U-Haul, right? So FNS is going to get this frag in the side of the head, and his teammate is waiting perfectly for him on the other side for this to happen. So let's pause here. So what you're going to see, actually, when FNS gets to pocket, and what really sells all of this is Marv going through the TP. This is a massive sound indication. So the blind Sova ult comes in, Marv goes through TP, but FNS stays in this pocket corner. And that ultimately is what gifts Marv this free entrance all the way back around, and he meets up with FNS, Crashies joins him. And while they're doing all of this, these two guys, Victor and Ye, are faking long B. There's so much going on across the map that is making Keyed gravitate towards B when there's no one B, or gravitate towards A when there's no one A. They were never on top of this round, and it was all behind FNS's smart plays and just very well thought out spreading of the map, pushing and pulling rotations, and just literally locking it down aim-wise as well. So he single-handedly won Envy this round. All right, and this is pretty much all I have to say about this clip, so I'm going to send it back to Riv and Doug.
Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, there really is there really is a lot to talk about here. And you know, how often have we talked about FNS as being one of the most decorated IGLs in North America? When you see something like that.
And it's not even from just VALORANT. He brings that pedigree all the way from his CS:GO days.
Right. But now Vivo Keyed are on the attack. Now they get to drop a little bit of the misdirection, a little bit of the eye candy that we saw FNS employ in their half. We'll see what Vivo Keyed can do here. A bit of a spread early on, not leaning either which way. You've got some presence towards showers, and much like we talked about in the previous half, I think we're going to continue to see a lot of fighting for that area of the map. You can farm ult orbs. It's so much easier to take A when you have control of showers if you're on the attack. That's prime real estate, my dear friend.
They haven't actually given up any info on early utility here. They're just going to walk into showers, though. Heat with a nice pickup onto Victor as they trade ghost shots through.
And like, that's what we're talking about, right? The fight for showers control. Now, for Vivo Keyed, it looks like they're going to try to brute force their way into A through short anyway, knowing they don't have control of that. And then you're in a great spot to hold it. But again, are you going to know the guns are just too much? Right? There's just too much damn firepower. The wall's going to go up as well, so they should be able to get the spike down. Marv's stuck on the other side with a ghost. That's going to take forever to get through that thing. That's just an excellent start from Vivo Keyed. And again, plan A didn't work. Riv, they didn't get showers control.
Showers control was a little bit towards B. They figured there was no push coming, so heading back over towards A. And like you said, perseverance through that middle portion, figuring out where they actually could get the win in, and it was through short. Now pushing Crashies and Marved into a tough spot here with 90 HP combined.
The tap. He's gonna drop. J-How cleans up the last as well. So Vivo Keyed win the pistol, and when you've got around this a map this close, right? We're talking 7-5. Win that pistol. That's a big swing, right? We're talking presumably 7-7.
Yeah, you're going to see that. We did see that Envy was able to make a statement on the second round of the second half on Icebox, but it wasn't as much as they needed throughout it. We did see the game go to overtime. We're hoping for that here. And Envy's going to need a few more rounds here. Or, sorry, Vivo to get this started. They're pumped. They're ready. They're online. And getting into showers here for this next one. It looks like FNS is going to want to get an early stop. Oh, no. Ah, he gets darted out. So they actually get control of the orb just by darting and shut down what FNS had started. So great start to the round by NTK and Vivo Keyed to put it in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely free. And again, they find themselves in a spot because of the ability that they had to grab showers control. They were able to pick up the ult orb as well, as you said, put it in NTK's pocket, and now they have that space. So really, you mentioned a couple of rounds ago, the world was their oyster. This is another excellent example of that, right? They can rotate back towards A because they have showers control. They can pull back off. There's no denial of space happening from Envy towards short. They've got all sorts of room to work with here.
Making sure that nobody's on that cat. You can see where Vixen is placing his stars currently in what would be useful to them if they do decide to go for this take. Slowly moving in. He will want to get a shot out of here, and it looks like he'll find FNS in just a moment. What a play off the utility coming into the A site. It made it impossible for FNS to really have a safe spot.
Well, okay. So the spy, yeah, but you've got Heat there with the Bulldog. I think I like what they're dialing up, but you just don't have the firepower to really fight this back. Look at how they're rotating around each other, right? Like the flanks being flanked, and there's everything that's going on. As Mirrors is wrapping around what Envy had. Nothing personal, kid. They're able to clean up that kill on the A. But Marved, I mean, Marv's in a 1v2. There's a Bulldog there, though. No showers control. 9 bullets. Make that 3. A couple of taps. A little something to make you think about things. Oh, and that was beautiful, right? Satchel, make them think they're coming short. Swing out. Gorgeous.
I like that. I like that. Very nicely done. 7-7, as you were saying, will we get there? And we do. And looking at what, Marv went in on the Spectre on that. There was quite a few purchases, but it looks like they kept low on util to keep themselves within the next buy. And you see there's a bit of a reluctance for full utility. FNS has already laid his down, so he did get to purchase it. So it's actually not too bad for Envy here. Let's see what they can push into this one. The Bulldog was dropped over to Joe. That's a Vandal now in the hands of Heat, as he feels like he'll be able to prove a little better with that weapon.
Oh, Riv, they're coming hot. They're coming fast towards B. They already have long control, right? They've droned their way in. They're going to get some space there. They've already taken
rotation
all
reaction
as well. Yep. And the thing is, they can't really easily flip the map here. The spike's not on long. There's no info of what's happening towards A. This is going to be a straight-up fight for B, and Ye's already opened it up with 2. And they have elbow control. The nice thing is it's been walled off, but they're going to be able to blast their way through that. Victor just waiting on the other side of the wall. Spike's not down yet. Oh, yay, 5 health, but Crashies was there. A little surprise. The Gravity Ball's there as well to clean him up. And Victor gets onto it. FNS does as well. It was close, but another Prime Gaming flawless for Envy.
Getting smothered in the sight. Vivo Keed couldn't figure out which way to look. I loved the play from Elbow. As soon as the wall was broken, not a damn thing happened. They stayed there. We saw Crashies hide behind the wall, or Victor hide behind the wall, and then they all started to come out one after the other out of the woodwork. And look at this patience. It was actually Crashies who peaked first. He was third in line, still coming up from defender spawn. So the patience they played with that and what Vivo Keed thought was going to happen was absolutely perfect on the side of Envy.
All right, so Vivo Keed now find themselves in a pistol, exact same Viper setup that we saw in the previous round from FNS. Again, walling off showers, fighting for those orbs. You see some of the Astro Stars coming out from the attacking half as well to deny some of that, as both teams a little touch and go on that area of the map.
Okay, Victor, just go ahead. Hang out and mark it, why don't you, right away. He pushes. So Victor's telling the team, we either need to start leaning one way. You can see already Crashies is ready to take a dip through the teleporter. So Envy is just on the money right now with the information they're able to get.
Get out of my way.
So they choose not to. He's actually going for the safe rotation over through spawn here.
Yeah, and I think it's because, as you mentioned earlier, Victor's in a great spot to catch any of the rotates.
Exactly.
But they are going to go towards A.
Oh boy.
Heat with the Blade Storm. Good for 1. Dashes in. You hear the
Crashies!
Crashies with the 100 Fury, able to get 2. FNS gets 1 as well. The Blade Storm's not going to be enough. The Classics aren't going to be enough as well. A 3K for FNS, a round win for Envy, a 2-round lead at that.
It's a full house. FNS over Crashies on that one. It's Hunter's Fury up the gut through U-Haul. And overall, you almost give that round to Victor. He's like, you know, I'm going to waltz out here, and I will just literally give you every bit of information you need. How are you going to take a fight when all of Envy is waiting for you to come through the door? This is the result right here of good comms, great communication, and yeah, FNS feeling good about what's going down.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The info that he gathered there was so pivotal. But now, Vivo Keed, full rifles. They have an op in hand as well. And oh my gosh, you try to push into Heat. I get it, but yeah, he just continues to hit those shots.
Like it. Sprays his forfeit on the wall. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. /FF, boys. You know you want to, Envy. Never. No one's thinking any of those thoughts right now. Oh my god, they go for the orb and still come up with the frag. A little brazen there from Envy. Moories, how are you alive?
Yeah, he blast packs his way all the way in, so he's back in behind. They've got the Viper Spit that they have to work around, but I think the important thing is Envy has Showers control here, but of course, as I say that, 1 drops. This site has opened up like a cracked egg for Vivo Keed here as they're able to get in. Now they have Showers control, but the one nuisance that you're going to have to deal with is FNS. That's not a safe space to go. You've got to deal with him, right? You can't just leave him there. J-How with the plant, the spikes there. That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. You've got to stick to him, but FNS is in such an advantageous spot that he can handle anything thrown his way. But there's Heat rotating around. He's rotating around. He's good for 1. Joe's good for a second one as well as FNS has to push out now. FNS in the 1v1 with Heat. Heat's been cracked out of his mind, but is FNS going to be able to hit the shots? The Dink is there. Heat dashing around, the Classics out. Spike ticking away.
Oh my god.
FNS just buying time. FNS opening Heat away! The 3K to win the round? Are you kidding me?
What a beautiful dance from Heat and FNS. Slivers of health on both sides, and it is Heat who comes out on top. A big frag to open the round. He was feeling it from long B. FNS has just been a monster throughout these rounds, but there are monsters on both teams in this series for both Envy and Vivo Keed, and there's Heat on your screen picking up a 3K to show you how it's done.
Who we talked about, he's been cracked all series. Cracked. Icebox, and you can see it. FNS, like, man, that was theirs. That was theirs. They had that. They had a great setup there. But Vivo Keed blunt forced their way through that thing. Now they find themselves, again, with excellent weaponry. Couple of ults to work with. NTK 1 away from having that Hunter's Fury online. But Ye says, listen, I know you've got Heat, but we have El Diablo.
Yeah, Heat's going to try to do what he can to turn that up right now. They're heading towards, looking at Heaven with that operator. They kind of just walked up and put all that down.
Whoa.
They were given a lot of space. Vixen takes down FNS right away.
And again, that's so big for Envy. They have to control showers. But I guess do you if you've got Yay. Yay. He's already gotten 230 health. The Classic's not going to get anything done from that far, man. 3v3 as the spike ticks. They've got the res in the hands of Zhou. They also have the Cosmic Divide. Oh my gosh. Freaking Vivo Kid have everything to work with. They have the Hunter's Fury as well. And now they have the numbers advantage. Victor makes it a 2v2. Marv.
Saw him.
Yeah.
Saw him.
He spotted the barrel of the gun. Vixen in the 1v2. He's got a little bit to work with, but there's nothing doing there. Envy win the round. They're going to get the defuse, a 2-round lead.
Yeah, Doug, I have to say, when Vivo Kid is making it into these sites without extracting a bit of utility from Envy, we saw that when they ran up through wall down towards U-Haul and then came back. They just looked scattered. It didn't look like they were comfortable hiding in the showers. It didn't look like, you know, holding their positions. Envy was able to waltz up to find exactly where they were, just like this. Yeah. It makes it really tough to hold that spike.
Yeah, it does. And again, like Dog, we've talked about it so many times, but it's so difficult to stress the importance of the need to hold showers on A for both sides, right? Like, and that's why we see both of these teams invest so much to control that in post plants before the spike goes down. Here we see FNS doing a little bit of something there again. But this is a difficult round for Vivo Kid, right? They don't have much weaponry. They have really pistols across the board. Heat's already been tagged up. Marius has been tagged up as well. Envy, in theory, should be able to get through this just fine, but is this going to be a problem? Marius is already good for one on the pistol. FNS just barely keeping his life as Vixen gets a spike down, but the res comes through. Okay, this actually is turning very nicely for Vivo Kid, but Victor stuffing that at least for now.
The 4v4, showstoppers up. Will they be able to take this? Slowly playing. The Econ already get the spike down. It's going to give them a little bit of extra money, which they need. And now the site takes coming in FNS for the tap, and he's going to trigger the retake.
Yeah, well, he's not even going to trigger that. He was going to trigger the showstopper. And that's Victor's shot. Victor's good for 3, but J-Howe pushing out from U-Haul. The shot turns there. J-Howe's going to be able to rip it back. A 2v1 is Crashy's down to 11 now. Crashy's gets dropped. How in the hell do they do that?
Zhou has been stepping up so hard throughout this entire tournament. He's, as he said, the soul, the one who can make things happen. And if they aren't happening right, he's going to correct it. He's going to make sure the team is synced up and ready to go. The power that Envy was coming back in with the retake almost made it seem like it was going to be impossible for what was a save round hold. But impossible is not a word that Vivo Kid know.
No shot, bro. No shot that's what they pull out. And they did it with shock darts, right? Like, Envy had ult to work with. That's just an excellent response from Vivo Kid. And now they're back on weapons.
And if this goes Vivo Kid's way, you look at a certain round, or maybe a few, but that one, round 19, you can put in the books for what would have swung this one and brought Vivo Kid back into a position to take it.
All right, so Vivo Kid here, they shift that bad boy down a bit, right? Shift down a bit, slow things down for just a moment. Again, remember, folks, this is Envy's map pick. This is a very good map for Envy historically, and Vivo Kid again, much like we saw in Icebox, toe-to-toe, trading blows, refusing to step down.
Crashy's stepping up. Hookah's his right now. He can figure out what's going on outside a little bit, so information gained, but little do they know that was actually NTK just on the other side, so he's going to gain from some free space. The lean now coming over from Victor. You can see what Envy's feeling, where they think it's going to be going, and they may be making the right call, honestly.
Ooh. Marv getting tagged up a bit.
Great move by Vivo Kid here to go back.
Heat with the op. He's got the Bladestorm as well. Heat creeping his way forward. Slowly but surely. He's going to have FNS just on the other side. Cosmic Divide's going to be coming out. That's going to split things off. Excellent. From Envy. 13 seconds left!
Oh my
goodness! But they've still got to get onto the site. They've still got to get the spike down. Heat's good for it with the Bladestorm as well. 7 seconds left. Zhao gets the spike down. Marv creeping his way forward through his own wall. Marv and Ye are able to get a couple as well as they stuff the attack. They're just leave NTK alone. A 1v3. Victor on the tap. He's up top above you. He's good for 1, but that's all he's good for. As Marv wins the round for Envy, gets the last kill. Envy get to 11.
Doug, those 3 kills happened because we again saw Vivo Keed setting up their positioning. They had gotten into the site and they were still milling about. 1, 2, 3 instantly go down. The rest of the members of Envy, they're going to be happy to go in, but these shots from Heat, these plays from Heat cannot be underestimated.
What a shot. Dude, what a shot. And like, this is the beauty of Valorant, right? At an international stage, when you've got good against good, you draw that out from one another, right? Like, who's going to be the next one to make the big play?
A lot of eco on the side of Vivo Keed here. 2 Vandals, NTK and Heat to start it off. Joe, Maurice, and Vixen looking to pick up something off the ground if they can drop the members of Envy. That operator's in showers for now, playing with the gas wall a bit, so a lot of communication between FNS and Ye here to start off, and audio will be heard here at B.
And you know, this is actually a great setup from Envy early on. They understand that they don't have a ton as far as weaponry goes. Don't give them any of those tight angles, play off a bit, make them come to you.
Astrostar already towards spawn. You can see that kind of pushes Victor out into the site. They don't want to have to play behind that. Calling the rotation over from FNS. Vivo Keed is doing a really nice job at getting rotations out of Envy right now. And this late in the game, you have to get your opponent to move the way you want. You can't just be going dry into the sites. Vivo Keed doing a great job of keeping that in mind.
They're going to rotate off. Victor gets
push.
one on the way out. A parting gift, if you will. The problem is, Riv, if they do go into showers, guess who's there? Yay.
Still?
Yeah,
Still.
Right, exactly. With an op, and he's going to get the shot right in between his eyes.
Clean.
As NTK gets cleaned up. But the thing is, you've only got 36 seconds left. You're not on the telly side of the site, so you really kind of have to go to A here.
A huff of the blast back, and Victor finds a shot in Hookah. Could he open it up enough? He always is good for 1 or 2. If another one happens, then it could be the plant. 20 seconds left.
Oh, it's going to be
Spark's going to go down, but they didn't clear the extra one out. They didn't have site control, and that is imperative on Bind A.
All right, so Envy find themselves at map point, and my goodness, much like Icebox Rift, nothing has come easy.
No.
Nothing has been easy. They've had to really dig deep to do this, and much like we talked about in Icebox, I don't know that anybody expected this.
No, not that is close as it has been, not as back and forth as it has been when we've seen a team get a lead. Is definitely have seen a lot from these teams. I feel like the Envy squad and Envy fans are thinking, wait, this group isn't what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
And the Vivo fans are saying, that's great. That's exactly what we wanted. So awesome stuff by Vivo. Again, they come from Brazil as the first seed, toppling the 4 teams that were always on that pedestal.
Right.
For Brazil. Gamelanders, Furious, Sharks, Vikings. We've seen those teams. Vikings, Sharks, and in Iceland.
Yeah. Yep.
And this time, we're seeing why Vivo Keed had made the run for first seed in Brazil.
Whew. All right. Envy have taken a couple of hits.
Yeah.
They've taken a couple of crosses. They've looked a little discombobulated, a bit like what on earth just happened. But they've been able to regain. Riv, if you're Vivo Keed here, this is twice that you've pushed Envy to the brink, right? You've had them on the ropes, looking for the final knockout. What are you dialing up here?
Dialing up just the utility usage. I think if it's tough to see because if you're not peeking, you don't know what the rotations are. You're only finding that out when you're presented with the defense on your executed site. But the way they are using util, if they can realize the precedent that they're getting out of Envy to rotate over for an Astrostar and spawn, something else so small is getting movement out of Envy, because this late in the game, you don't leave things up to chance. You don't say, oh, we'll come in late. Envy's moving on it, and I think Vivo Keed has found that aspect of their playstyle.
All right, a couple of early attacker Astral Stars towards B. You've got 1 long, 2 just outside of Hookah window. And again, this fight for showers control, denying any sort of orb. And I think that's so pivotal given how close a couple of members are of Vivo Keed to getting their ultimates online.
And they've been trying to do this with a bit less money. You can see the utility that Vixen needs. Gets them on low armor, just telling a small story of what has brought these rounds into Vivo Keed's favor. Heat and the rest of the team, he'll go through a smoke no matter what, flashes or not. Heat.
That's big. Okay, so Heat was able to get one. Victor trades it out. The spike is still down, right? So both teams have been a bit touch and go. NTK, after all of that kerfuffle, is able to get the ult orb. Now 1 away from having that Hunter's Fury online. Keep that in mind.
FNS's positioning let him hear the orb, so it's an early call for the team to know.
What?
Rotation for Victor might be late. This could be big damage for Vivo Keed if they can make it work inside zone. Takes down FNS.
Joe. Equaling things out. There's Thunder's Furies come out as Crashies gets it onto Joe. A 3v1 Vixen. looking to keep the map alive. The potential at upset alive for Vivo Keed, but in a 1v3, doesn't have a ton to work with. He's only got
30
light
seconds
armor.
left.
And the thing is, they've got him boxed in. There's nowhere they can go. He can't do
There it
anything
is.
without them knowing Ye's able to secure it. As we talked about previously, they were beaten, they were battered, but they walk away with the win.
Whew. Vivo Keed coming in strong, and in the end, Envy able to rout the strategies, the compositions that were brought to the table and find the win 2-0 here. And not the fashion I think they thought it was going to happen, or any of the NA fans around the world. So we do see Envy pick up the win here. They will find the 2-0 over Vivo Keed, but in a much different fashion than we thought.
Take a look at the final moments of this round one last time, as it looked like Vivo Keed wanted to feel things out, right? The spike was back in spawn. They wanted to make some space happen and then rotate around. But between excellent timing and showers, Crash uses Hunter's Fury. They just had really everything in front of them. Excellent adaptation from Envy. And Riv, I've got to ask you this, knowing that that series is behind us, are you impressed with Vivo Keed?
Absolutely.
Or did Envy come in out a little flat?
Absolutely, I'm impressed with Vivo Keed, because looking at this, the percentage and statistics for maps just played against played, Breeze was basically the only one that Vivo Keed had here. Yeah. If they didn't have that. So to come out on the maps that were in favor of Envy, percentage-wise, usually that leads to the win for a team. So that was incredible to see them just kick back at what the stats say, and we're going to write new ones.
Now, I've got to ask you the side of the coin. Are you worried about Envy? Are you concerned?
The adaptation from Envy was there. Ye played strong. I don't think we've actually seen Envy in, like, trouble mode, because Ye was still hitting. Crashies was still clutching.
Yeah, that's true.
That was really the question for them, is if those two aren't doing anything, can everybody else step up? Will FNS still be clutching, kind of thing? So I don't think we've really seen them in too much of a mode where they've been stressed. They definitely had to bring out, I think, a lot more than they believed. I keep saying that, but it's kind of the story of this one. And I learned a lot in this one. Both teams, I think, come away with so much on this matchup.
Well, and I think especially when you talk about a deep tournament run, it may not always be sexy, right? Like that was ugly, but those are the kind of matchups that you point at and you go, we learned a lot about ourselves today, right? Like we learned that we can take a couple of hits on land and walk away feeling up about it. You can see grins across the board. They're feeling good, but oh, I like that. You see the horns, El Diablo?
The little horns.
Dope,
I like the W too. It's like a W and horns.
It was like, it was there. Again, they walk away with the win. It wasn't pretty, but you learn a lot about Envy after a series like that.
And that group makes me much more excited now to see how it will shake out. You know, Vivo comes out strong, and they're going to say, all right, thanks for number one if Envy slips up anymore.
Yep. Absolutely right. And I think for Vivo Keed, you mentioned being really excited for a group. I think there's still a lot to be seen from Vivo Keed. As you mentioned, let's think about who else is in that group and what are kind of the possibilities are on who makes it out. Vivo Keed just make a really strong case for themselves.
And seeing them switch up a few things here, as we see Envy on the screen celebrating that victory, is that they switched up a bit. You know, they take Vixen off that Brimstone, known so well for it. In Brazil to the Astra, and it did seem to help them. They were able to control the map a little bit more and really make Envy move to their tune. But overall, Envy comes out with the win here. The adaptability is something that you always want to see in a team, and with the amount of rounds that went back and forth, you know these players' mental was tested, and it was awesome to see them come out on top.
Tested, battered, bruised, but they do come out on top. Folks, we're going to cut it over to the Prime Gaming post-game highlights. When we return from that, the desk is going to break everything down. I can't wait to hear what they think of what we just saw.
joining us back here at Masters Berlin as we wrap the final series of the day. It was razor-thin margins for both of our teams here, but on their map, Envy is able to lock it up in 13-9 Fashion Kuka and take it in 2-0 for the series.
I expected a 2-0, to be honest, but I'm really happy with the fight that Vivo Kid put up today. I'm really extremely happy. I knew that Bind was going to be extremely good for Envy, so I'm not surprised on that side. I feel like they were so comfortable here on the stage. They were saying, this is too easy, and I feel like that Astron Corporation was everything to them.
Yeah,
It was 2-0, but it felt like a best of 5.
It really did. It really did. I mean, I would have killed for a third map, but if it's got to end that way, I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, you heard the casters up there talking a little bit about coming off of it. You know, where do we sit based on pre-tournament expectations for both of these teams? Was it Envy maybe coming in slow and underperforming, or was it Vivo Kid stepping up? I'm kind of curious for the two of you how these teams measured up to your expectations.
I think some of it was just the clash of playstyle change. There were some decisions that Team Envy made, particularly in Bind, that differed from what we've seen of them doing in the North American region. You know, they played a lot more patiently when they were on their defense, for example. They didn't overstep anything. They didn't want to give away too much utility too early, which is something that Vivo Kid has been able to do against their home region opponents as well very well. But I think you also have to bear in mind that this is the group that everyone thought Envy was just going to steamroll their way through, and that's the biggest takeaway for me, is the fact that actually that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, personally, I think that the first map started as in, okay, this is going to be an easy one. We thought that we were going to have easy ones today. It wasn't the case at all, but they learned a lot from the way that Vivo Kid played on that icebox to what they were going to see on Bind. We saw Jay going on third round with the operator already on attack. He knew that they wanted to be aggressive, that they wanted to take that space, to have that pressure, and he didn't allow them to have it.
Everyone on Envy stepping up in this second map. On the side of Keed, I am just wildly impressed with the showing that Heat put up today across both maps. I think this is an individual that is going to have to be feared throughout the tournament.
I feel like if you're Havan Liberty, knowing this guy used to be on your roster, and you went through yesterday, and now you're watching today, you're probably going to be like, insert redacted here, I can't swear.
Full regret.
But, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Envy squeaks through across two maps. Yunsu is standing by with Marv for the Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you very much, Dash. I am indeed with Marv right now. Congratulations on that victory. A hard-fought one, though, wasn't it?
It was hard-fought. It was pretty long, but yeah, I feel like we could have closed it out sooner, but it is what it is.
Did you expect Icebox to be that close, you know, going all the way to overtime?
Nah, we thought we were going to beat them on Icebox pretty easily, but they got off to a really hot start, and there's nothing you could really do except for keep pushing and try to come back, so that's what we did.
Speaking of hot, you know, we heard just now from the desk about Heat. I think everybody's really excited to see him in this tournament. Now you've played against him. What's he like?
He hits his shots. He hits the shots he needs to hit, but I do feel like we were giving a lot of kills to him. We were giving a lot of map control to him. We were just, I don't know, it's just really a slow start from us, and I feel like next time we play a good Jet, it's going to be different.
Do you think the slow start is due to the fact, you know, first big international land together as a team, or do you feel like maybe you didn't expect them to be as aggressive?
I feel like we expected everything that they did, but yeah, it's the first time. It's the first time playing on LAN for all of us, or not all of us, but all of us for Valorant at least. So first game out of the way, and we should be good.
How did that feel? Exciting? Fun?
It was very fun. It was very fun.
Yeah, we saw you guys having a lot of fun out there. Just coming back into that game, I wanted to ask you, you know, on Bind, that small kind of agent swap on Ye going from the Sage onto the Jet. What was the reason behind that?
So when we first added Ye, we had to get all the maps down, and Bind was one that we didn't go over too much, and we had him on Sage initially, but we just felt like he's way more comfortable on Jet, so at least maybe 2 days before this tournament, we decided to switch him onto Jet. Actually, he was on Reyna yesterday, and today he's on Jet. So yeah, we got it all down now, and we just have to keep practicing the map, and we should be better.
Are we going to see the Reyna come out now you guys have prepared for it a little bit?
Who knows?
Not giving away, not giving away. I just want to ask you about the Sage as well, because it feels like, you know, with all of the international teams here, other teams and regions really, really like using her, but it's such a low priority for you guys and for a lot of the other NA teams as well. Why is that?
I feel like another agent does way better than Sage. Sage is not that good in our opinion. If we don't have a really good Sage player, there's no point in running it. Yeah, on Icebox, we don't even run Sage, which like every other team does, but we just play our own game. It doesn't even matter.
And lastly, before I let you go, you guys are through to the next round. You know, one more best of 3, you're through to playoffs. Would you rather play Crew or Zeta?
I have no clue. I haven't watched any of the teams. I'll watch them tonight maybe. But KRU or who? Who is it?
Crew from LATAM.
Crew or who?
And Zeta Division.
Zeta Division? Probably Zeta Division.
Okay, we'll see. They play tomorrow, so we'll see. Thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations once again. That is enough from us for now, but I believe we're throwing this back to the desk for Dash and Kakuk and Gio to break everything down.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. And don't you worry, Marv, you've got time to do your homework before you have to face off against either Crew or Zeta Division. Great to get a word from him. In a sense, affirming what you said, and that thinking maybe map 1 was going to be a bit easier than they expected. And then when that curveball gets thrown, okay, time to step it up and warm into it all. Also like hearing about how they're just throwing Ye through the ringer. Sure, Reyna Sage one day, and then boom, Jet on game day.
Well, it's also when he said, like, oh, you know, if we come back with a better Jet, then, you know, it'll be better. And it's like, whoa, okay, hold on.
No, I liked it too.
Let the man live.
I like the fact that he said. I mean, I honestly don't think that Sage is that good, and I was like, okay. I mean, if you don't have, we don't have a good Sage player, so we don't play her. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for the very honest answer.
Yeah, fair enough. You play to your strengths.
That's one thing that I actually really like about what he was saying there is, as much as he was kind of throwing caution to the wind with the whole like, oh, I don't know anything about these teams, I haven't watched anything about them.
He'll watch them tomorrow. His time.
Yeah, maybe like an hour before he goes into the game, right? No, but he said that, or just the way that he was saying everything very much seemed like, okay, yeah, maybe today didn't go as well as we expected and as well as we thought, but that doesn't mean we've been spooked out of changing the way we want to play. Like, they very much seem to still be confident in the Envy style of Valorant.
It's a first contact, right? With any other team, it would have been the same. The first rounds would have been like, oh my god, what is going on? I haven't seen this before.
A lot of feeling things out going to happen here over the initial days of Masters 3, but as we reflect on the 3 series of the day, it's time for our HyperX Reflex moment of the day. This one had to go to Defo in series number 2 with the sick B site op shot.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, just get ready for it, folks.
Was that a pre-shot? Like that was God, that is nasty. He doesn't even need to see your body.
What is going on?
I feel like this entire series could have qualified for this, to be honest. Look. But the whole thing was just nuts.
He saw the bun, he saw the jet bun, and just shot it.
The bunny ears, basically, just like, yeah. Oh my goodness, just disgusting. I mean, and again, I think that perfectly encapsulated the dominance of that second series of the day. Let's not forget that while this last one was close, the one smack dab in the middle was far from it.
Yeah, does it count as a series? Like it was a show match.
In all technicalities, yes, I guess it does.
Yeah.
But here's where we stand at the end of 2 days of competition with our tournament bracket. As was mentioned by Yinsu, a number of teams only one best of 3 away from qualifying into the playoff stage, out of the group stage. Of course, over there in Group D with the round robin situation, still plenty of matches to be played, and we'll wait to see. Still not having our first look yet at teams like G2 and Sentinels. But when you take a look at these brackets in the other 3 groups, has anything yet come as a surprise to either of you?
Not really. No, not as far as a surprise, no.
No, I mean, just looking at the way that it's gone, I would say that all of the games have had the results that I would have expected, but not necessarily got there in the manner in which we would have expected.
Fair enough. Well, no surprises so far, but perhaps surprises tomorrow as we take a look at the schedule ahead of us. We are going to get our first look at both the Zeta Division as well as Crew. And then, of course, our defending Masters champions in Sentinels going up against G2 before 100 Thieves and Gambit go toe-to-toe as well. I definitely am honing in on those second 2 matchups of the day, and I don't want to do a disservice to Zeta and Crew, but I mean, come on, G2 Sentinels getting to see what kind of form Sentinels is in attempting to defend the title. Can't beat it.
And I mean, Envy will be watching the first game. I'll be watching the first game. Everybody at home should be watching the first game as well, because I feel it's a treat. Come on, tomorrow you cannot miss any of that.
Yes,
Just
definitely
seriously.
don't. Tune in, and on time. It's been a big day here at Masters Berlin, but we have one more thing to take care of, and that, of course, is celebrate Gio's wonderful birthday here. Hopefully, the game's delivered, and we have an ultra tiny cake just for you.
That's what we could get at this time.
Wait, do I have to? Is anyone, are you gonna sing?
I was gonna offer, except for my singing voice is horrible, so I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna abstain. I'm gonna save the ears
and
of
you
the
don't want me to
thousands
sing.
of people.
All right. So
watching.
do I just?
Exactly. So just make a wish.
I'm gonna set the whole stage on fire, guys. You ready?
Please do not do that. Fire marshals. Fire marshals.
All right. Ready?
Wonderfully done.
Okay.
That wasn't
Happy
too bad.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
microphone. Thank
Beautifully
you.
executed.
Oh,
Well,
I
enjoy
forgot.
your pastry. For now, I'm going to throw it out to everybody at home. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. Another brilliant day of Masters Berlin, but we're just getting things started. I want you all to get some rest tonight. We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay safe, and have a good night.
That's it.
One enemy. 한명 남았습니다.
Let's go, guys!
Got one.
적군이 한명 남았습니다. One enemy remains.
All Crazy Raccoons need to do is stop the plans, but they can't get in there in time. And now it is just an absolute slaughter for Gambit. The Crazy Raccoons are falling left, right, and center. Redguard, the last man alive. Post-plant stars are down.
Let's go! Oh.
They have to make their way forward. Shock darts are on the way. A flash in. The flame storm, but he's blinded up. There'll be no defuse today. Where are these fakes? What is that from Redguard?
Long.
Silence.
One enemy remaining.
20 секунд убил. Распикивает.
One enemy. Down A. One enemy remains. 30 seconds left. One enemy remains.
What are you doing? That's nice! Come on! Sync up.
Come on, guys.
Spike down A.
Okay, dead.
One enemy remaining.